Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 50 rock songs from the 1990s that deserve to be listened to a whole lot more than they are. Number 50, Start Choppin', Dinosaur Jr. Dinosaur Jr. was at its weird and wonderful best with the release of 1991's Start Choppin'.
Oh, there's no going back to that.
The track was described as being as close to a radio hit as the band ever had, and it was, in many ways, helped by the accompanying music video.
Can't feel I'll let you know. Still, I wish you let it go.
It is a zany piece of alternative rock genius that contains all of the oddball guitar work you'd expect from J Mascis. It went on to become a hit, reaching the top 20 in the UK and number 3 on the US alternative airplay charts.
I ain't telling you a secret. I ain't telling you goodbye.
Though this track won't be the band's only appearance on our list, Start Choppin' is still played frequently to this day. In fact, it is one of the most performed songs in their entire repertoire. Number 49, Out of Sight, Out of Mind, Wilco.
I know we don't talk much, but you're such a good talker. Oh.
Power pop never sounded quite as proud as it did when Jeff Tweedy and Wilco brought us Out of Sight, Out of Mind, a single from their second album, Being There.
Well, alright. I know you probably hate me. That's okay with me.
The whole thing is delivered with an infectious level of passion, and the band is in top instrumental form. It's a breezy number with some excellent guitar work that pops through in the mix during the chorus.
I know where I'll be tonight. Alright.
This was by no means the band's biggest chart success, not by a long stretch actually, but it remains one of their most underrated releases.
Out of mind, outside.
Number 48, Redundant, Green Day. Green Day well and truly brought punk music into a new era with 1994's Dookie. However, Billy Joe and company were not content to rest on their laurels. Their follow-up album Insomniac was darker, heavier, and altogether more abrasive. But for most fans, it was their pivot into a much wider array of sounds. Green Day wasn't looking to make a cohesive album with Nimrod, instead fleshing out their sound with a number of genres. The single Redundant showcases the band writing the type of lovelorn ballad that would be a constant presence in the next 2 decades.
Now I cannot speak. I lost my voice. Speechless and redundant.
For our money, they've rarely sounded as sincere as they did here. Number 47, Sweetest Thing, U2. U2 frontman Bono made the mistake of forgetting his wife's birthday during the recording of the album Joshua Tree.
Milo, she throws me like a rubber ball. Oh, the sweetest thing.
Thankfully, this blunder resulted in him writing Sweetest Thing as an apology. Originally released as a B-side to Where the Streets Have No Name in 1987, the song was later re-recorded in 1998, becoming a huge chart success in several countries.
I wanted to run, but she made me crawl. Oh, the sweetest thing.
It's a song about love, plain and simple, and it just so happens to be one of U2's catchiest songs of the 90s.
Whoa, I'm losing you.
The music video deserves a mention too for its depiction of Bono taking a carriage ride through the streets of Dublin on his way to apologize to his wife. The song is a perfectly succinct love letter in musical form.
The sweetest thing. The sweetest thing.
Number 46, New, No Doubt.
Don't let it go away. This feeling's got to stay.
There's nothing quite like seeing one of your favorite bands ending their hiatus in style. After 4 years without a studio album release, No Doubt returned with a bang in 1999.
No hesitation is gone.
New showcased Gwen Stefani and the band in top form, capturing the sound that made them a hit earlier in the decade while also updating it for the turn of the century. It also came packed with one of the best musical videos of the year. Overall, New might take you a few listens to fully get it to stick in your ear, but when it does, it stands up to anything else they've done in their career. Number 45. The Smashing Pumpkins. The truly great bands are not afraid to try new things, even when their formula is working well. Despite being lauded as alternative rock heroes following the hugely successful Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, Billy Corgan refused to stay still. Upon being asked to produce a song for the soundtrack to the David Lynch movie Lost Highway, Corgan had his first submission rejected. However, its follow-up, stuck the landing. It was so successful, in fact, that it had a part in convincing Corgan to stick with this electronica-influenced direction on their next album, Adore. Number 44. Down, 311. You won't hear a more apt snapshot of the 90s as a decade than the funky sounds of 311's Down. You can hear elements of hip-hop in here, nu metal, the influence of groups like Red Hot Chili Peppers and the Beastie Boys, and for its 3-minute runtime, it never stops being fun. It's a visceral track that never wanted to come packaged with a pretty bow on top. The song arrives with a bang and departs in the exact same fashion. Every lyric is delivered with attitude, and even though it was a big hit, it was far from their only success on the charts. Number 43. The Great Beyond, REM.
I've watched the stars fall silent from your eyes.
REM was a band that went through several different eras, mastering multiple genres with ease and producing some of the finest music of the 1980s and 90s. One song that doesn't get spoken about enough is 1999's The Great Beyond.
Why can't we pantomime, just close our eyes and sleep?
The track was released for the soundtrack of the movie Man on the Moon, an Andy Kaufman biopic that actually got its name from REM's 1992 single of the same name. It has all the hallmarks of an REM classic, a powerful vocal delivery from Michael Stipe, and a measured but effective performance from the band.
I'm pushing an elephant up the stairs.
It's no surprise that the band kept this song as a staple of their live set right up until their eventual split in 2011.
I'm looking for answers from the great beyond.
Number 42. Glory Box, Portishead. Portishead is deservedly regarded as one of the most underrated bands of their era, trip-hop trailblazers whose 3 albums to date have been highly acclaimed.
So tired of playing with this bow and arrow.
Out of their entire catalog, though, no single song has stood the test of time quite as much as Glory Box.
Move over and give us some room, yeah.
Making use of a beautifully integrated Isaac Hayes sample, the band succeeded in bringing out the very best in their sound with this one.
This is the beginning of forever and ever.
Everything from the guitar work to Beth Gibbons' pained vocals weaves together perfectly to produce easily the most immediate sounding track in Portishead's discography.
So
Number 41. Lovesick, Bob Dylan. In his youth, Bob Dylan could do a lot with just an acoustic guitar in his hands, but as he aged, his instrumentation certainly grew a lot more atmospheric.
I'm walking through streets that are dead.
With producer Daniel Lanois behind him for his 1997 Time Out of Mind album, Dylan came through with one of the punchiest songs he ever wrote on Lovesick.
Did I hear someone tell a lie?
Lyrically, the best way to describe this one is as a love song in a minor key. Dylan's definitely in love, but he's sick of it, utterly fed up.
I'm sick of love. I hear the clock tick.
It's an odd way to kick off an album, but looking back, this was easily one of his finest efforts of the decade in question.
I'd give anything to just be with you.
Number 40, Got You Where I Want You, The Flies. Music found new ways to utilize angst in the 1990s, with genres like grunge, pop punk, and alt-rock allowing artists to find new ways to make disillusionment feel beautiful.
What's the point of this?
The Flies pretty much hit the nail on the head with the very frank and honest Got You Where I Want You.
Maybe just a smile.
The track begins with some pretty raw and vulnerable moments, not taking long to sink its hooks in. Then, just as you get comfortable, the chorus hits.
Got you where I want you.
And from the falsettos that kick it off to the refrain that features the song's title, it is a slice of 90s rock anthem gold. Number 39, Say It Ain't So, Weezer. Weezer tapped into something truly special when they burst onto the scene with their self-titled debut in 1994.
Somebody's honey is drowning my icebox.
Pretty much every song on the record is considered among the band's very best, but there is certainly something special about Say It Ain't So.
Flip on the telly, wrestle with Jimmy.
It's a song filled with angst and dread, as Rivers Cuomo describes his possibly misplaced suspicions that his mother's new husband might have an alcohol use disorder. Cuomo revealed that he believed his parents' initial marriage broke apart due to his father's alcohol use disorder, and so the song takes on new meaning with that context. To this day, it is considered one of Weezer's definitive tracks, and maybe the one that features their best guitar work.
My love is a life taker.
Number 38, Holland, 1945, Neutral Milk Hotel. If you haven't indulged your ears with a listen to Neutral Milk Hotel's seminal album In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, don't just take our word for it. The album has become a critical darling more and more with each passing year, one of the finest examples of underground indie music ever recorded.
Now she's out in our boy in Spain, playing pianos filled with flames.
The band's famously reclusive frontman Jeff Mangum has barely been seen in public in recent decades too, something that only adds to their mythical status. Holland, 1945 is easily the most radio-ready track on there. A folk-punk masterpiece with lyrics that concern Anne Frank and the end of World War II. It's pretty heavy stuff in more ways than one. Number 37, Coffee and TV, Blur. Blur guitarist Graham Coxon stepped in to finish the song Coffee and TV when Damon Albarn was struggling to do so.
Do you feel like a chain store? Practically floored.
He ended up turning the track into a perfect conduit for his own experience with quitting drinking, eventually taking lead vocal duties as well.
Do you go to the country? It isn't very far.
The song was released as the second single from their 1999 album 13, becoming a top 15 UK hit in the process. It's a truly excellent piece of pop rock songwriting too, with an instantly memorable chorus to top it all off.
Coffee and TV.
Oh, and we'd be remiss if we didn't mention its music video, which actually got the band some considerable airplay in the US. Number 36, Dead Weight, Beck. Beck truly found a niche of his own in the 1990s, crafting an image as a slacker rock superstar with albums like Mellow Gold and Odelay.
On a highway, unpaved, going my way.
Whether Beck actually wanted to be regarded as the loser he sang about so memorably became irrelevant.
Like an ice age, nice days on your way.
found a sound that millions of people could relate to, and he carried that run of form through the decade. One of his best moments came with the track Dead Weight, which was released as part of the soundtrack to 1997's A Life Less Ordinary.
Skies burn, eyes turn, learning to counterfeit their disease.
Beck played the majority of the instruments on the recording himself, further proving just how musically on point he was long after Loser initially hit the airwaves. Number 35, Body Rock, Moby. It stood as a major watershed moment for the electronica genre. His ingenious use of old soul samples gave the record a truly fresh sound that retains its quality to this day. However, for as much as some of the other singles released from the album lean into Moby's ambient and down-tempo tendencies, Body Rock certainly does not.
We rock the body, come on, get down, we're gonna make you free. We rock the body, come on, get down, we're gonna set you free.
The track announces its intentions in the opening bars, and as the title suggests, it is most certainly a rock song, albeit with an electronic overcoat. In fact, we'd go as far as to say that there are some genuine big beat vibes off of this one. Number 34, Follow You Down, Gin Blossoms. When the band Gin Blossoms is brought up nowadays, many immediately think of the tragic story of its songwriter Doug Hopkins.
Did you see the sky? I think it means that we've been lost.
However, the group did manage to sustain their success after his tragic death at the age of 32. Follow You Down is a prime example of the band finding its footing with a new songwriting direction.
No Reddit somewhere I can see how far we've come.
It ended up becoming their best charting single, maintaining a spot on the US Billboard Hot 100 for a staggering 46 weeks.
Anywhere you go, I'll follow you down.
It also reached number 1 in Canada. Gin Blossoms certainly could write breezy, easy listening music like few others.
Follow you down, but not that far.
Number 33, All I Want, Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Nothing so loud, hearing when we lie.
Everything about Toad the Wet Sprocket's All I Want is going to bring you right back to the 1990s. And if you weren't alive during that time, the song is like a 3-minute window into another era.
Nothing so cold, closing the heart when all we need is.
Anthemic alt-rock truly had its best years during this decade, and All I Want combines powerful vocals, jangly guitar riffs, and instantly memorable lyrics to produce a radio hit with very little fat on it. It's a perfectly compact piece of 90s atmosphere, and the nostalgia is apparent as soon as those opening bars begin. Number 32, Effin' Up, Neil Young. Neil Young was widely considered to have had a relatively tough time critically and commercially for most of the 1980s. Thankfully, that all changed with 1989's Freedom album, starting a run of form that would carry Neil right back into the public eye. During that period, one of his most underrated singles was Effin' Up, a moody, grungy, and undeniably catchy number that sees Young reminding the world why they call him the godfather of grunge.
Dogs sit lick and dogs sit bite.
The title itself isn't merely for shock value either. The whole thing is a very cohesive piece of no-frills rock and roll, released during a particularly uncertain period for the genre. Number 31, Brick, Ben Folds 5. Heart-wrenching pop rock rarely came as well packaged as this classic single from Ben Folds 5.
6 a.m., day after Christmas.
Brick is just about as tender and honest a single as you will ever hear in the genre. A truly harrowing display of lyricism that gets more poignant the more you read into it.
Now that I've found someone, I'm feeling more alone.
Of course, if it wasn't also melodically strong, it would be all for nothing. And the band certainly succeeds in that department.
As weeks went by, it showed that she was not fine.
It went on to be far and away their biggest single, and for a certain generation, it's a song that no doubt carries some real significance.
She's breaking up, drowning slowly.
Number 30, Pretend We're Dead, L7. It would perhaps be easy to label Los Angeles' L7 as merely a product of the 90s, since Pretend We're Dead was a hit for the group during this time.
What's up with what's going down in every city and every town?
Yet L7 was actually formed back in the mid-80s, and continued rocking long after fickle fans folded their flannel. Pretend We're Dead remains a hard-rocking tune with a cool main hook.
Turn the tables with our unity. They're neither moral nor majority.
The vocals are monotonous and snotty in the best possible way, while the fuzzed-out guitars embrace that 90s grunge aesthetic without forgetting L7's predominantly punk past. The song has lived on in other media, most notably the Grand Theft Auto video game series. Number 29, Ready to Go, Republica. Maybe it was something in the water over in the United Kingdom, or perhaps the 90s were just a welcoming decade for powerful female-fronted rock. Whatever the case, England's Republica struck gold at the poppier end of that alternative spectrum with 1996's Ready to Go. The guitars here are processed to oblivion, yet retain a certain edge to them, while the electronic-sounding drums lend the tune a vibe that wouldn't sound out of place in a dance club. Meanwhile, Saffron leads the charge with a lead vocal that's soaring and melodic, shouting out that catchy AF chorus for all to hear.
Baby, I'm ready to go.
Number 28, Losing Your Mind, Pride and Glory. Former Ozzy Osbourne guitarist Zakk Wylde wanted to try something different after departing the Ozman's band. Pride and Glory was that tentative first musical step before Wylde would lead a killer solo career and Black Label Society. Losing Your Mind is notably less modern sounding than BLS, but no less heavy. The vibe here is much more classic and southern rock influence than anything Wylde performed with Ozzy. Yet the song never forgets to leave plenty of room for Wylde to display his fiery fretboard gymnastics. Elsewhere, the rhythm section of former White Lion members James Lomenzo and Greg D'Angelo holds down a solid and swampy groove throughout Losing Your Mind.
Now you're just losing your mind.
Number 27, The Way, Fastball. This 90s single by the band Fastball lyrically adapts the 1997 disappearance case of Leela and Raymond Howard.
They made up their minds and they started packing.
The couple both had ailments that investigators felt contributed to them becoming disoriented, lost, and eventually found deceased miles away from their destination. The Way offers an alternative explanation of happiness and relief from their world's worries, while the musical approach feels nostalgic for an older era.
And when the car broke down, they started walking.
The guitar work jangles along, and the brief lead guitar breaks offer a satisfying musicality that was notably more involved than some of Fastball's contemporaries.
Anyone can see the road that they walk on is paved in gold.
The Way is just a cool song with an interesting backstory, and that is enough for us.
They wanted the highway, they had me there today.
Number 26, Sick of Myself, Matthew Sweet. This case of Matthew Sweet is another where an artist's peak creative period doesn't necessarily represent the span of a career. Sweet cut his teeth back in the 80s, prior to Sick of Myself rising up the Billboard charts in 1995. Yet his fifth album, 100% Fun, feels capital N 90s from top to bottom.
Sick of myself when I look at you.
This isn't necessarily a bad thing depending on your point of view, since Sick of Myself is undeniably catchy. Sweet's guitar playing fills a power pop void, while also containing the soul of a singer-songwriter.
Something is beautiful and true.
Sick of Myself also boasts a cool guitar solo from Sweet that helped remind fans that not everything released during the 90s was grungy and depressing.
I'm beginning to think, baby, you don't know.
Number 25, Love Is On The Way, Saigon Kick. It's a common misconception that hair metal's dominance solely resided in the 1980s.
Lonely sidewalks, silent night.
There was actually a wealth of popular acts from this era that achieved major chart success during the early 90s. Saigon Kick was unquestionably one of those groups, healing broken hearts across the world with their defining power ballad, Love Is On The Way.
Time of season wipes the tears.
The group actually earned critical acclaim for the variety of styles contained within their sophomore album, The Lizard.
Love is on the way. I can see it in your eyes.
Yet this hard-rocking affair is primarily remembered today for how Love Is On The Way shines with an impeccably produced acoustic approach, peppered with soaring vocal harmonies.
Let's give it one more try tonight.
Number 24, Santa Monica, Everclear. On the one hand, we get it. Terrestrial rock radio fans are probably surprised to see this on our list.
I am still living with your ghost.
That's because Santa Monica by Everclear continues to be something of a mainstay for once cutting-edge 90s rock stations that now find themselves becoming heritage radio.
I am still dreaming of your face.
This isn't really a slight, since the actual composition of Santa Monica is both economical and memorable. Everclear knew they had a good riff, and hammered it home with a chorus that was equally infectious and catchy. Fans at the time also seemed to agree that Santa Monica helped Everclear's album Sparkle and Fade to achieve platinum status. Number 23, All She Wrote, Firehouse. The tragically unexpected death of Firehouse frontman CJ Snare in 2024 helped remind older fans of just how good this North Carolina metal band was back in their day. All She Wrote was one of many hits Firehouse attained during their career as a certified hair metal banger. The song's unapologetically poppy arrangement feels more than a bit indebted to Round and Round by Rat, but who cares? The harmonized lead guitar breaks rip, the chorus is to die for, and Snare's melodic voice brings it all home. Firehouse would venture down musical avenues that were both heavier and more subdued, yet it was the success of All She Wrote that earned Firehouse the love of their fans. Number 22, Cigarettes and Alcohol, Oasis. The 2024 announcement of Oasis's reunion and forthcoming tour schedule sent a lot of 90s rock fans into overdrive, breaking out their CDs and cassettes.
Is it my imagination?
Nostalgia is a seductive beast after all, and we're betting that Cigarettes and Alcohol got added to a number of retro playlists. This tune was taken from Oasis's debut album Definitely Maybe, and presented a hard-rocking edge that instantly had radio listeners sitting up to take notice.
Is it worth the aggravation?
Soon, Oasis would dominate charts both at home in the UK and on an international level, but it was songs like Cigarettes and Alcohol that helped pave the way.
But all I need are cigarettes and alcohol.
Number 21, I Stand Alone, Jackal. The lineup of Woodstock 94 may have been dominated by the alternative rock and hip-hop of the day, but fans of a certain age just might remember how a little band called Jackal arguably stole the show.
Every time I move and the step I make, no, I just can't seem to take the right direction.
Included in their set was I Stand Alone, a rip-roaring tune taken from Jackal's self-titled debut from 1992. The group notably combined a glam metal style with tons of southern rock swagger.
My back is tired, my legs won't wake. In this life there is no cake. This life I'm leaving.
I I Stand Alone possesses an absolutely killer main riff, alongside a preening and polished production style that successfully straddles 80s excess and 90s attitude.
I stand alone today. Don't ask me why I feel.
This can also be seen within the accompanying video, which shows Jackal performing the tune before a crowd, protesting Kmart's banning of their album.
I stand alone today. Say yeah!
Number 20, My Sister, Juliana Hatfield 3. Juliana Hatfield was part of multiple notable alternative rock bands, including Blake Babies and the Lemonheads. However, arguably her most recognized work was with her own band, the Juliana Hatfield 3.
But I am only talking to myself, 'cause she isn't.
Lyrically, Hatfield's most successful single is about loving one's female sibling, even with her flaws. However, Hatfield isn't exactly singing from personal experience, as she doesn't actually have any biological sisters.
I love my sister. She's the best.
But that doesn't diminish how much raw emotion Hatfield and the rest of the band put into this song. You might not want to sing it at your sister's wedding, but you cannot deny the feelings it conjures.
I miss my sister. I miss my sister.
Number 19, Down, Stone Temple Pilots. Stone Temple Pilots are rightfully recognized as one of the best bands of their era. But their late 90s work deserves as much appreciation as their early 90s material. Case in point, Down.
Nice to meet you. Nice to know me.
Released at the end of the decade, this Grammy-nominated single defied the notion that grunge was a flash-in-the-pan sound. Built on thundering riffs and beats that should appeal to most any metalhead, Down is Stone Temple Pilots getting down and dirty, with great results.
What's the message? Where you show me?
Scott Weiland's shift between a seductive whisper and a raging bellow lends plenty of atmosphere to a track already full of it. And we cannot forget Dean DeLeo's scorching guitar solo either. If you're looking for an incredible blast of pure 90s rock energy, turn up Down. Number 18, Free to Decide, The Cranberries. Iconic tracks like Linger and Zombie made the Cranberries a beloved band, and their accomplishments did not stop there.
It's not worth anything more than to say.
Like many popular bands, the Cranberries had to deal with their share of scrutiny and negative attention. But they didn't take it lying down. Free to Decide finds the band fighting back and fighting hard.
So to have with what you're thinking, and to have with your dynamite.
Dolores O'Riordan addresses her critics head-on, letting them know that she's gonna do what she wants to do, not what anyone else thinks she should. While she's not the first artist to address this topic, few have done it with the same level of passion and beauty. Anyone seeking to assert their independence and embrace personal freedom should listen to this song. Number 17, Feel the Pain, Dinosaur Jr. Though the classic Dinosaur Jr. lineup reunited in the 2000s, they went through some drama in the early years.
I feel the pain of everyone.
Without a Sound was the first Dino Jr. album to only feature one original member, singer and guitar wizard Jay Mascis. On this song, he showed how much he could do, even without his old bandmates around. Feel the Pain is short on specifics but heavy on resonance.
Is it up to me?
Mascis sings about absorbing others' anguish and the resulting emptiness with undramatic frankness. If that sounds like too much of a downer, he also makes sure to bring in some marvelous guitar and drum work. It might not get you out of a negative mood entirely, but it will hopefully help you feel a little less alone.
Just try and keep it clean.
Number 16, Seether, Veruca Salt. Though grunge and bubblegum pop might seem like they're genres inherently at odds with each other, skilled artists know how to fuse them together.
See, there is neither loose nor tight.
Case in point, Veruca Salt, who showed that they could be catchy without being sanitized on this song. Seether is truly a song for when you're seething. Addressing the needlessly taboo topic of female anger, Seether turns rage into a living being that cannot be vanquished or ignored.
I try to rock her in my cradle. I try to knock her
anger is a natural emotion that should be dealt with in a constructive manner. And this song is a prime example of those feelings being processed through pure creative energy. Number 15, Plowed, Sponge. While they might not be the most famous musicians out of Detroit, these rockers still made an impression on the charts.
Will I wake up some dream I made up?
Their biggest hit, Plowed, feels like it's driving itself into your mind from beginning to end. Once the momentum starts, it doesn't let up, with raspy frontman Vinny Dombrowski and the rest of the band giving it their all on verses and chorus alike.
In a world of human records.
Although the lyrics aren't exactly cheerful, they aren't totally despondent either. Plowed is a song for taking what life throws at you and plowing on ahead.
Plowed into the sound.
Number 14, Midlife Crisis, Faith No More. Faith No More got to the number 1 spot on the Modern Rock Tracks chart with a song reportedly inspired by another chart topper. Originally, this song was known as Madonna. And while it doesn't name-check or even allude to the Queen of Pop, it does show Faith No More's ability to take inspiration from various sources to create something truly unique. With its blend of metal, hip-hop, and prog, Midlife Crisis seems like it should be an unholy mess. But there's a method behind this madness, particularly in frontman Mike Patton's full-bodied vocal performance. If only real midlife crises could be as invigorating as this song. Number 13, I'm Afraid of Americans, David Bowie. Speaking of midlife crises, some might think a veteran artist delving into trendy sounds like industrial and drum and bass is a cry for help.
Journeys in America, no tricks at the wheel.
But David Bowie was not just any artist. Known for his chameleonic shifts between genres and personas, Bowie proved he was as vital in the 90s as he was in the 70s and 80s with I'm Afraid of Americans. A collaboration with longtime creative partner Brian Eno, this song finds Bowie doing what he does best while also trying new things.
Journeys in America, Johnny looks up at the stars.
The result is something that feels both timeless and forward-thinking, much like all of his best work. Bowie might have been afraid of Americans, but we're afraid of a world without this song.
I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world.
Number 12, Supernova, Liz Phair. There's no champagne in the Supernova, but it's still plenty special. On this irresistible cut from her second album, Liz Phair sings about falling in love. But this isn't just any love song. Supernova has Phair talking about the object of her affection with unabashed enthusiasm. Though there's talk of things like physical attributes and bedroom skills, the song manages to avoid vulgarity. Instead, it manages to be both effortlessly cool while also heartwarming in its enthusiasm and energy. If you've ever been madly in love, you probably know exactly what Phair is talking about here. Number 11, Pardon Me, Incubus. Though Incubus had been around for much of the 90s, it was the end of the decade when things really started to pick up for them.
A decade ago, I never thought I would be at 23 on the verge of spontaneous combustion. Woe is me.
Their first charting single, Pardon Me, was written at a particularly tumultuous time for Brandon Boyd. And learning about the disturbing concept of spontaneous human combustion helped him to bring this song to life.
Pardon me while I burst into flames.
Its title might sound polite and unassuming, but Pardon Me is anything but. Instead, it is a striking study of early 20s alienation and confusion that's moody, unhinged, and brilliant in equal measure. And even if you've made it through a tough period of your life, it should still strike a chord. Number 10, Black Balloon, Goo Goo Dolls.
Baby's black balloon makes a fly.
When people think of the Goo Goo Dolls, their minds inevitably drift to Iris, the band's record-breaking power ballad from 1999. However, that was far from their only 90s-era hit, as proven by the brilliance that is Black Balloon. The The song, which tells the story of a desperate man's attempts to get his lover off heroin, peaked at number 16 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts, but never quite matched the hype of Iris. And that's not exactly a surprise, as Black Balloon is modest in its approach, telling a very different kind of story. Number 9. Uninvited, Alanis Morissette.
Like anyone would be.
Released in 1998, Uninvited sold more than 7 million copies, peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Top 40, and earned Morissette 3 Grammy nominations. She won 2 of them, as well as picking up a Golden Globe nomination for Best Original Song. You're probably wondering how anyone could forget how awesome this alt-rock classic is. And to answer that, we have 3 words: Jagged Little Pill. The Canadian singer's breakthrough album produced a slew of iconic tracks, and more often than not, they're the ones that make it onto the web's best songs of the 90s lists. But we've never forgotten this subtle and mysterious tune, and continue to play it whenever we can.
I don't think you unworthy.
Number 8. Popular, Not a Surf.
3 important rules for breaking up. Don't put off breaking up when you know you want to.
Popular was extremely popular when it first hit the airwaves back in 1996. The track not only served as the obligatory party anthem for teenagers everywhere, but also helped to drive Not a Surf's debut album to number 63 on the Billboard charts. While the band has gone on to release 9 additional albums, none of their songs was able to capture the hearts of music lovers quite like Popular. Peaking early has been the curse of many bands throughout the years, and Not a Surf appears to have suffered a similar fate. As such, we doubt many of you had this track in mind when our video began. Number 7. My Own Worst Enemy, Lit.
Can we forget about the things I said when I was drunk?
Featuring a driving guitar riff that would blow people's hair back in any decade, My Own Worst Enemy is as awesome today as it was when it was released in 1999. How people forget about this track is a bit of a mystery, as it's pretty much got it all. Relatable lyrics, a memorable hook, and a pop-punk sound that, while dated, has never lost its flavor. Nevertheless, it's a throwback that often seems to be overlooked. My Own Worst Enemy remains one of the band's most successful tracks, and for good reason. Number 6. Take a Picture, Filter. The second single released off of their sophomore album Title of Record, Take a Picture dominated the airwaves soon after its release in the fall of 1999. The dreamy lyrics were inspired by lead singer Richard Patrick's own experiences of not being able to remember his drunken escapades and asking his girlfriend at the time to, quote, take my picture 'cause I won't remember. We're gonna go ahead and attribute the fact that people forget all about this song to Filter's lack of a follow-up hit in the ensuing years. With that being said, Take a Picture is still a blast to listen to thanks to its ubiquitous sound and catchy chorus. Number 5. Inside Out, Eve 6.
I would swallow my pride, I would choke on the rinds, but the lack thereof would leave me empty inside.
Winning Grammys and breaking records is all well and good, but what's most important is having good lyrics and a catchy melody. Thankfully for Eve 6, their 1998 alt-rock song Inside Out had both in spades.
I would swallow my pride, I would choke on the rinds, but the lack thereof would leave me empty inside.
Like, come on, how can you not absolutely love a line like, wanna put my tender heart in a blender, watch it spin around to a beautiful oblivion? The heartfelt delivery of Max Collins' eclectic lyrics, combined with the track's driving rhythm, made Inside Out one of the 90s most addictive songs. Number 4. What It's Like, Everlast.
I've seen a man at the liquor store begging for your change.
6 years after dropping one of the most iconic party tracks of all time with Jump Around, House of Pain co-founder Everlast decided to branch out on his own. As a solo artist, he took his sound in an entirely new direction, and the result was songs like What It's Like.
Then you really might know what it's like.
A fusion of rock, blues, and hip-hop, the song introduces listeners to 3 different characters, all of whom are suffering in one way or another. This melancholy track surprised the music world by being one of the most successful crossover songs of the year.
happy loop.
Number 3, Sex and Candy, Marcy Playground.
Hanging round downtown by myself.
The second single off their eponymous 1997 debut album, Sex and Candy proved to be the band's only major hit. But what a hit it was. The atmospheric track about, well, we don't really know what it's about, propelled the band to the top of the modern rock tracks chart, a spot they held for a then record 15 weeks.
I smell sex and candy here.
The song features a slow backbeat and some seriously cryptic lyrics, but that just makes the case for Sex and Candy's effortless coolness even stronger. You may still hear it on the radio from time to time, a testament to its staying power.
Yeah, mama, this must be my dream.
Number 2, Only Happy When It Rains, Garbage.
I'm only happy when it rains.
If you lived through the 90s, then you will definitely remember this iconic alt-rock track. Only Happy When It Rains was a hit with fans and critics alike, with one going so far as to quip, quote, "If you're not playing this, you don't have a pulse." The highlight of the track is unquestionably Shirley Manson's vocal performance, which seemingly affirms the grunge music scene of the era. But once you dig a little deeper, you'll find a song that is mocking grunge, alt-rock, and even garbage themselves. The song was a sign of things to come for a band that would ultimately be nominated for 7 Grammys. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Jumper, Third Eye Blind.
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
Coming in at number 1 is a song whose brilliance should never be forgotten. Jumper has a message that's as relevant today as it was in 1998. It's dark, uplifting, sentimental, and catchy all at the same time. A song that's equally at home being played loudly in the car or on an acoustic guitar around a campfire.
We could cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in.
The song remains one of Third Eye Blind's most successful, having peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's the earnest lyrics and smile-inducing melody that make Jumper a 90s classic, not awards or commercial recognition.
I would understand.
What awesome 90s song do you think should have made the cut? Let us know in the comments below.